I'm gonna give you the accolade of the guy right now, the rapper that's actually making rappers chatting sound good. Because Busta Rhymes has done this thing over the years, and I'm a big KRS fan, but there was a point when his ragga was a bit off. Wyclef. So how do you feel about that?
I mean, you know, like the thing is like people like KRS-One, well, KRS-One in particular, like from the time that I was you would swear that he was straight from Kingston the way that he used to go on, you know what I mean? And it's funny to find out that, you know, he's just straight American and just had a love for reggae and dancehall music. KRS-One was somebody that made me feel comfortable about doing it myself and made me feel proud to do it also. And then it's funny, like I didn't even know that Busta was a yardie until we had met, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't really put the two and two together, but you know, Busta Rhymes is somebody that did it, the Fugees is somebody that did it, even if you go back, Heavy D did it, Grand Poobah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. Grand Poobah did it before. There's a lot of people that have done it over the years, but I mean, for me, it's like I come from Toronto, and it's like Toronto is similar to London in a way that there's a lot of West Indians over there, and with us, like even from the first independent 12-inch that I put out back in like '96 called Naughty Dread, it's like it was just one of those things that for me it was a natural thing, but at the same time you have to do it well, or else where we come from you will get booed and bottled off the stage.
And that's what I'm saying, when I was growing up, I loved KRS-One, but you'd hear a bullet bye and you think, I'm not really sure about that one kind of thing, you know what I mean? So like I said, you're doing it well. It's a good time for you to be on the show. Our last guest was Mighty Crown.
See it. Big up Sammy T, stick all them man them. Okay.
You know what I mean? So basically, I've also noted something about your feeling towards the current level of artistry and people not really being into lyrics. So I always find this one of the most interesting conversations when you're talking to someone about hip hop. What was the lyric that you say really got you into this hip hop thing, and what's the best recent lyric for you?
I don't know if it was a lyric that got me into it per se, but one of like from a young age, I remember listening to Roxanne Shante on Roxanne, I guess it was, and that was early 80s, and I just remember being at my cousin's house, and he had gone to New York and came back with this cassette tape, and it had like, you know, the UTFO, the Fat Boys, all this crazy stuff. And I just remember like looking at the cassette tape player and looking at the wheels going around and just being mesmerized, like, this is crazy, you know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, it's like my dad, like he had the Sugar Hill Gang 12-inch and all that stuff, but you don't really pay attention to what your parents are playing, you know what I'm saying? Like you want to discover your stuff on your own. And I remember, you know, going to my cousin Alex's house and him playing that stuff for me, and I just remember being like, yo, you know what I mean? This is something that's for me, you know what I mean?
I should be into soca. If I listen to my parents' music, I'm a soca man, you know what I mean? So I heard the show, man. I heard Dougie Fresh the show, and I was hooked.
Okay.
The beats are a whole lot better than this Ninja Love Me Reggae business my mum's playing, man. So, you know what I mean? So if we take it back again as well, man, obviously coming from Canada, you would have worked with artists like obviously the Rascals I mentioned earlier, Chocolate, Socrates, and once again you mentioned escaping the trappings of the Canada hip hop scene, which I can imagine is very much like the UK scene here.
Very much.
Doesn't move outside.
Mirror image.
Yeah. So what would you say is the mental differences between you and those guys? Because really they're still on that scene, and you were here, so there must have been some mind state that you possessed which they really didn't look at. You know what it is. I'll tell you the honest truth is a lot of those guys, like it's funny, it was a random show, but I actually just before we came here did a show with Chocolate and Snow of all people. Wow.
Yeah, it was real
about him, man.
Yeah, man, it was a real odd thing, but at the same time it was like people like Socrates, people like Chocolate and the Rascals. Like I learned from all those guys, you know what I mean? So maybe it was a thing to where I was able to see certain mistakes that they made along the way, but not just the mistakes, I also seen where they were prosperous and kind of tried not to do the same things that they did wrong. So maybe that's what it was, is I had the luxury of seeing people do things before me and then seeing what they were good at and going with it. So I didn't have to do the same mistakes that they did, and you know what I mean, and do do the things that they did. I don't know. More time, I'm not finding the proper words to explain it. But at the end of the day, what it is those guys were able to help me out in my career, so that by the time that I was able to do my thing, I knew who to talk to, I knew where to go, I knew what things worked, and I know kind of got an idea of what people liked, you know what I mean? So it was made easier for me. But that's how it's supposed to be within the music industry, is there's always going to be the people that do things first. People are going to make mistakes, but it's up to you as an artist coming up to see the mistakes that people made, and you know what I mean, try not to walk in those same mouse traps, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right, that